Now, the interesting part of the war was how people were joining. When we moved to Matuga, we had left some contacts in Kampala. Afanderia Kategaya, Let Joy Mirembe, the other leaders like Sam Juba, who was there, and eventually Madame Juba also joined us. There were a number of people who are our contacts in Kampala, many. And we had people like Dampa who would move up and down. Now, people started joining us. A number of the people who joined us were those from NRA. For example, all the escorts of Maruru came as a group. I think it was Rwabantu, Taban, and others. And many other people started joining us slowly because Matuga was easy. So our contacts, the late Sabiti, who used to be LC5 of Mbarara, was also among the people who used to bring people. And Matuga was very useful because it allowed us to get more. Now, we were getting 3 types of people. Those who were previously in Fronasa, those who were previously in NRA, then intellectuals from universities and from schools, and then the 1-inch, the peasants. These groupings of the 3 was very interesting to put together. For the 1-inch, for them, they were very simple. All they want, they would join to find out what was happening, or they were annoyed with Obote, with the regime, or they want to see what is this new force. Then the intellectuals were also very interesting. We call them intellectuals. These who had come from school, mainly from universities, quite a number. The Kasuras, the late former CDF, Ronda, Kazora, General Muntu. There were quite a number, and the Jets and others who are leaving the universities and other training institutions. Now, for them, they came knowing that they are the ones who know everything, and all they wanted is just show us how to fire, just show us how to fire the gun, and that's it. Then we had these ones who had been in the UNLA, in the army. For them, they knew they were the ones who know everything. Now, what we did was that we made most of the intellectuals IOs and PCs. And then those who had some military training as commanders. So a dispute started to arise between the 2. The intellectuals started saying, we are the ones who should be leading things, we know what to do. And then it brought in a subject which I like, as we get more time, is to discuss. There was a subject we used to teach called revolutionary methods of work. I am deliberately bringing this, seeing how the young people these days are indisciplined. Revolutionary methods of work. How do you relate to one another? So at the stage, when we were still at the stage of guerrilla warfare, much of the effort was education. It was not firing bullets. We would go to fight once in a while. We would attack units which we have wrecked, which we knew we could have overrun. But the biggest part was, how do we relate to one another? So this wonderful time we are having like this is, how do we bring our minds together to focus ahead? That's why I'm saying this is a delivery of a new phase. So that during this trek, just we use it like we would bring the minds of the intellectuals, the minds of the peasants, the minds of the soldiers together, so that we tunasonga pamoja. The intellectuals would say, we are the ones who know everything. and only teach us this business of parade. What is? Now let me tell you the importance of parade and drill. The importance of parade and drill is to make you learn how to act together. When we are walking, our leader says, Misururu mbili, then you see zigzag, you see. Now, parade is meant, if they say, adui clear, if the enemy is on the right, all of you should know where the right is and where the left is. Now, I'm going to check, just for checking. All of you, put up your right hand, up. Put them down. Put your left hand. Some are putting the right hand. Now, that may sound very easy. But if I said, turn right, some are turning this way. So the purpose of parade, if we had to educate the intellectuals, that it is important that we all practice how to act together in the shortest possible time. Then the soldiers would say, what siyasa? Siyasa, what is siyasa? What is siyasa about? The importance of siyasa is people do not do what they should. People do better what they understand. So siyasa is to make you understand, to answer that question, why are you doing what you are doing? Where have you come from? Where are you now? And then the fourth question is, where do you want to go? And I want you to think, Uganda, where it has reached this stage, where do we want to take Uganda? Then the last question is, how shall we go there? So I was bringing you to some of our methods of work. Now, revolutionary methods of work would teach how a commander, how a PC, how an IO, how a combatant would relate to the boss. What I would like to share with you, which I think is important, one of the subjects was, how do you work with a difficult boss? Now, these intellectuals would say, I have ideas, but my boss sometimes doesn't listen to me. We had about 3 cases. So, the lesson of methods of work, which are very simple, was that if you are the commissar, if you are the IO, and you have a good idea for your unit, whether you think this commander who has been appointed by the authority, whether you think he's a fascist, or whether you think he's not intellectually clear, or whether he doesn't know the politics, he's the commander. So all you need to do, what is important for a commander is heshima yake, give him respect. If you have an idea, go carefully, smartly, salute him very well. Jambo sir! Give him heshima yake as your commander. And then present to him your idea and say, as Fandi, I have an idea. I would like you. Who? I would like you to introduce in our unit. It's not who has brought you who has brought the idea, that is your idea. You say, sir, I have brought an idea which I would like you to introduce in our unit. And you may either have written it down or you want to explain. If you have written it, say, okay, I will read it. You give it to him. You allow him time. Don't just say, read it now. So he may be busy with many things. He's thinking about commanding the war and all that. So you give him the idea. Patiently wait. After a few days, comes Afande. Did you have time to look at that issue? Then he may say, no, well, you can explain. Or if, as we used to do for the soldiers, we used to have daily master parade, where we would have this type of discussion, and everybody would be free to ask any question. Anybody would be free to have constructive criticism. And that helped us to unite it. So when he doesn't bring, he may say, okay, come and explain. When you come to explain, you don't say, I have brought an idea to this unit. No. You say, Afande has introduced this idea and has asked me to explain it. Then you explain it, and it is the idea of the unit, not of you, the person. Now, those are some of the few methods of work where I see that indiscipline now is mainly because the people do not respect the hierarchy. The Banyankore have a proverb, a saying, "Tuingane taha marwa." It is only when people are drunk that they are all at the same level, because you are all drunkards. At that point, whether you are rich, whether you are big, once you are a drunkard, you are equal, really. You are there at that time, you are equal. But in life, respect. Discipline starts with respect of the elders, respect of the leaders, respect of the weak people. So those are some of the methods that helped us to move from our gorilla. Now, then we established units. I was leading you to some of the methods which helped us.